You tired yet? Sweet mother of God, I am. Welcome back to my channel, and if you've never been here before, go back and watch episode 1. You don't want spoilers, do you? You might, I don't know, whatever. Here, we find ourselves again in the epicenter of Scream City, USA, where everyone's angry and yelling, and that wound looks infected. You should probably get that looked at. And how did we get here? And what am I talking about? I think I might have just had an out-of-body experience. Anyway, we're still covering Gabbie Hanna's delightful series over on her channel, the channel of Screams, episode by episode, although this one is a 3-parter for time's sake, for brevity and time. In fact, these stories moved so fast, with so much information after the fact, that you may have even forgotten that some of this stuff has happened. Because it's been a really rough couple of weeks. I don't know, I hadn't thought this part through. So today we're looking at episode 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this incredible, life-changing, groundbreaking docu-series. I was wrong on a couple levels. I'm looking at episodes 2, 3, 5, and 6, and also that's a 4-parter. So let's get cracking, shall we? Before I get started on what episode 2 is about, I want to direct you to a link in my description. Donate, share what you can, do what you can, and that's that on that. I want to try and find a way to speak about Gabbie's involvement in the situation without furthering a conversation that is being requested to stop. And I want to fully respect that. But I think, no, not but. I'm going to fully respect that. And I think there are behaviors happening on Gabbie's side that need to be looked at. And I'm prefacing this a little too soon because I haven't even told you what we're talking about here. So if you don't know what we're talking about, you're like, bitch, what? I'm like, hold on, I'll get there. The hell was I talking about? Anyway, this is the only time I will ever speak on this, I assure you. This is the only time I ever really have spoken on this, like most commentary channels, other than in passing for context. Here's where the rest of you catch up. In 2017, Gabbie Hanna made a video transforming into an e-girl like a week after Jenna Marbles did it because
originality.
In this video that Gabbie made, she used a photo of a young girl who had her life tragically taken far too soon, didn't realize that it was a full article about this girl. When this happened, Gabbie did nothing. She, like every time there's a problem at Gabbie's doorstep, she did fuck nothing and just waited for it to go away. And it didn't. It was brought up through several commentary channels who noticed, hey, this photo is here and it shouldn't be. You should probably just pull it down and say, oops.
Say, how do you know so much about oops, I crap my pants?
Sorry. But she didn't. She tried to edit the photo out by blurring the photo and not saying anything. Instead of just saying sorry, she instead just said nothing. Eventually, she made a big long apology video, which was good. And pretty much the consensus in the commentary community was that the apology was good. It was a good apology. She did good apologizing. She got one. Until she turned it around on all the drama channels. Because in true Gabbie Hanna fashion, she can't just possibly apologize, just call it a day. No, instead what she wanted to do was turn it on the drama channels. Because she had been in touch with this child's mother, she basically called out all the drama channels and all the commentary channels who spoke about this and demanded through this mother that everyone give an apology. The thing is that they didn't say anything wrong. They said the situation that happened. Gabbie used this photo. She refused to acknowledge the fact that she used this photo, didn't take it down, tried to blur it without anybody noticing. And then when that didn't work, she finally addressed it. And then she wanted to make the drama channels and the commentary channels the scapegoat for her mistake. That is what this episode is about. This episode is very, very volatile and full of a lot of yelling. You're gonna feel like you just got grounded. That's my job, by the way. It's my job to ground you all, not Gabbie's, so, you know, she's just like the babysitter. I'm your disappointed mother. So in chapter 2 of this very lovely, enlightening series, we find ourselves inside another chamber of screams.
Yo! My bed is still not made from last night. I did sleep. Actually, that was 2 nights ago!
Jesus, fuck, please stop yelling. She's like a theater kid with brand new tap shoes who just got their first swing part. Like, settle the fuck down, please. We can hear you. We're all right here. Blah, 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 blah. 14 minutes into talking about ADHD again, smoking a J. I don't know whose dad she is, but she's smoking a J, talking about buying fancy shit with her money dollars. Gabbie recalls the only time that her neurodivergency would have saved her from looking like a complete fucking clown.
The tone indicators thing that I was trending on Twitter for, that was actually part of like this weird timing in my life where I'm really realizing that I'm neurodivergent and that my brain genuinely doesn't work like a lot of people's. Oh, the tone indicators thing. So the irony of that is I was joking that we don't need tone indicators, and in doing that, it's because I misunderstood the tone of the tweet that I was reading and I interpreted it incorrectly and then responded incorrectly. But then everybody attacked me for it, saying that I was ableist against neurodivergence when I am actually very neurodivergent.
It's okay that Gabbie didn't know what tone indicators were. It's okay that she misread that comment that her fan was making and made a joke of it. But again, instead of just saying, oops.
How do you know so much about oops, I crap my pants?
My bad. That's pretty ironic that I would miss what tone indicators were, considering they would probably help me out a lot. Considering my neurodivergency, I should probably use those moving forward. She instead did the Gabbie Hanna-ist thing she could possibly do and turn it around and into a lecture where she's now going to encourage us all to keep the conversation going so she can further educate us on tone indicators that she just learned about 5 seconds ago. Wow. And we can call this another Gabbie Hanna repeated pattern. Taking accountability, apologizing, I use both of those words very, very loosely, and then turning it around into a teachable moment where she's going to teach you what she's learned because she's now an expert and needs no further listening, only teaching. If you looked up the word insufferable in the dictionary, I think you get where I'm going.
There was just like so much confusion. I don't feel like a bad person anymore. I just don't think that I'm for everybody.
Oh, okay, yeah, you definitely, definitely not for everybody. What Gabbie is still missing is that she is still the common denominator. And my dog just scared the hell out of me. Thought he was a big snake. I don't know why, but I thought he was a big snake. What Gabbie is missing here is that she is the common denominator, and not in a funny, ironic, I'm making fun of this kind of way.
For real.
Is everybody really that hard to get along with? Is everyone an abuser, a narcissistic abuser, a manipulator? Is everybody gaslighting you? Or are you the common denominator and actually the problem? That's rhetorical. It's the second one. Gabbie is often the aggressor. And when I say often, I mean damn near always the aggressor in these situations. She doesn't get off scot-free because she's a neurodivergent person with ADHD and CPTSD. That's not how that fucking works. Just because your brain works differently doesn't mean you can act however you want. And judging by all the people in my comment section who have ADHD, who have CPTSD, who have BPD, who have OCD, who have every damn acronym that is in the book, they've all said to me, hey, I have this and I would never behave this way. And if I did behave this way, I would own up to it and I would fix it, because that's what people do. That's called being responsible for your own mental health. I almost yelled. That's strike one. I know I've got yelling in my future. But it's not everybody's job to babysit your emotions for you. That's your job. That's what therapy is for. Go there.
I responded to a lot of stuff the way that it made sense for me to respond to. And because it wasn't the way that you felt comfortable with, everybody said that I was like a bad person, or like a monster, or a manipulative person, or soulless, or sociopath.
But Gabbie literally does the same exact fucking thing. She's about to. We'll get there.
I think that's where we need to open up a conversation again of understanding that you may not like the way that somebody behaves or the way somebody handled a situation, but you don't get to dictate other people. You don't understand what's going on with them or how they process things. Everybody has a different point of view. So just because it doesn't align with yours doesn't make it wrong.
Seriously, she should have covered ironic instead. I mean, it would have sounded bad, but like it would have made way more sense.
I just feel it like at some point our tolerance for people being different and having different personalities and traits went out the window. And it was just like, you're not like us. That is groupthink.
Oh good, Gabbie Googled more terminology. Groupthink bingo, coming to a Gabbie Hanna series near you. It's not groupthink just because a large amount of people disagree with you. Do you think people who are against fucking white supremacy, is that groupthink? No. It's not groupthink because people can see through your bad behavior. It's not groupthink because people find you to be manipulative. After all, you said it yourself.
If you do something and a very large group of people are upset, you might want to rethink that maybe, just maybe, you're wrong about this one. The response from the people who hurt me and who were fronting a smear campaign against me.
Oh, smear campaign. Let's put a pin in that again. We did this in the last video. Let's do it again real quick.
You shouldn't have to know somebody's mental state or mental health or neurological makeup to be a kind, empathetic person. Why don't you shut the fuck up about me? Get the fuck over it. That's how narcissistic and abusive this person is and how much she cannot accept any type of criticism. Face yourself, bitch. She's not a fucking artist. I don't care about her fucking opinion because she has no accomplishments in art or has proven to me that she's actually intellectual enough to understand art. You're a fucking monster. You're a bitch. I'm talking about you for attention. You talk about me, you get millions. I talk about you, I get still millions, but not because of you. Is it, you manipulative, narcissistic bitch? You're a manipulative bitch, you fucking sick, twisted bitch. I am so kind.
Yeah, you're right, Gabbie. You fucking nailed it.
Stop it. Get some help.
How is somebody supposed to act when they're being falsely accused of exploiting a murdered child? What is the appropriate response to that? Now, I didn't respond at first because it's not true. It was a false accusation grounded in literally fucking nothing.
Well, technically not nothing. It's not grounded in nothing. I don't think Gabbie Hanna intentionally exploited. I wouldn't even call it exploitation. I don't think she left that photo in her video on purpose. She is still responsible for having done it. Just because there's no malice involved doesn't mean there's no responsibility required. I don't think it was a purposeful act because what would the end game be? Even if it was for attention, what kind of attention is this? And I don't think anyone thought that. I don't think any drama channel or commentary channel, barring maybe a couple that I've never seen, thought that she was being exploitative on purpose. All that was asked was that she correct the error and say, oops.
Hey, how do you know so much about oops, I crap my pants?
At the end of the day, it's not Gabbie's actions that are the problem. It is her reactions to the problem, at least in these cases that we've talked about so far. You know, we got a lot of volatile shit coming up, very much about Gabbie's actions, but for the purposes of this video and the one before it, her reactions, not her actions, are getting her into these situations. Where she's missing the mark is that I don't think that drama and commentary channels were saying Gabbie is exploiting people, Gabbie is exploiting this child. I don't think that was the conversation. I think the conversation was, this photo's in this video, it needs to not be in this video, Gabbie needs to fix this, it's her video, and maybe apologize if she's feeling fucking spicy. Really didn't have to be this deep. It really didn't even need to get that whole family involved in this, because the only reason that they're entangled in internet drama is because of Gabbie Hanna. Drama channels and commentary channels, tea channels, sorry, any of these channels have not been continuing to talk about this. This has not been a topic of conversation until Gabbie makes it a conversation. Did I just say conversation? I might have. We'll have to find out.
The conversation.
But at the end of the day, ignoring the problem looked worse than just correcting it and saying, oops.
Say, how do you know so much about oops, I crap my pants?
I fucked up. Do I believe that Gabbie Hanna intentionally left that photo in her video? No. Do I believe she handled the situation incredibly poorly like she does with every other fucking situation? Yes.
I apologized for a situation that I should not have apologized for, and I'm going to stand my ground on this.
Okay, I'm gonna need my pillow soon to scream into. I match my pillows, I got that going for me. Seriously though, I'm gonna need to scream into one of you guys soon. Are you down? Regardless of everything, intentional or not intentional, the photo was put into Gabbie's video. There is no, I didn't do anything. Because at the end of the day, it was there. Gabbie went in herself, or her editor, went in and blurred the photo in her video and said nothing instead of simply acknowledging, apologizing, and moving on. And now she has essentially retracted that apology, which does no one any good. Out of spite for drama and commentary channels, Gabbie Hanna has retracted an apology that was supposed to be for the family, for the friends, for the viewer, not for drama channels, not for tea channels, and not for herself. It was for the people that were affected by seeing that photo or triggered by seeing that photo. Which leads me to believe the same thing I've believed all along, is that Gabbie Hanna has no fucking idea what apologies are, what they're for, and why. Retracting an apology for something you did do while trying to act like an advocate for that family is disgusting. You or your editor put the photo there. You should have been more careful. It didn't have to be any deeper than that. It doesn't mean your intentions were bad. It doesn't mean you're a bad person for this. It means you're capable of human error. And apologizing wasn't supposed to be for clearing your name. Fucking nailed it.
This was not my fault. If the drama channels and the tabloids, these are tabloids that you guys are taking as fact just because they're on video format and because a person that you like is delivering it to you.
A little something I learned at Second City for you. Here's a little bit of knowledge. Here's a knowledge nugget that I learned at Second City. At Second City, in improv, you're taught to play to the top of your intelligence. Always assume your audience is as smart as you are. I have the feeling that Gabbie really thinks her audience is stupid. Referring to tea channels, drama channels, commentary channels as tabloids, and talking about how they are manipulating these stories. Like, everyone who has ever watched a drama channel is so stupid that they couldn't possibly feasibly understand how critical thought works or form their own opinions even without the help of a tea channel, drama channel, commentary channel, what have you. Really kind of underestimating your audience there, or what's left, I guess. The internet's not just full of simple-minded morons who believe anything a tea channel says. Sort of like how people who read books, you know, if you're gonna sell them the book, you know, maybe you might want to decide between whether it's a book about a lot of childhood trauma or if it's a light digestible read that you shouldn't take too seriously. You know what I mean? Like, pick one or whatever.
All I did was scroll through an article on a YouTube video that happened to have a picture of a girl who was murdered. If I was this age, this would be me.
100%.
For sure. This outfit right here is
You already wear.
straight up what I wore from 7th grade to college.
And now.
And now, I do have that shirt. That is what I did. That was my crime that I lost a fucking record deal over.
Wait, I thought you split amicably from your record label. Oh, no, wait, though. Trisha Paytas is the reason you lost your record deal, right? I guess it was the drama channels.
That I lost sponsors over. That I lost hundreds of thousands of subscribers over. That I lost friends over. That I lost job opportunities over. That I lost months of my life over in a deep spiraling depression because this was such a heavy situation that you guys used, and I'm addressing the drama channels directly. You used the murder of a child to exploit me.
So you're pissed off that drama channels called you out on your mistake, or you're pissed off that you made a mistake, got caught ignoring your mistake, and then suffered the consequences of that? Kind of sounds like the second one to me. This wasn't about how the family was hurt. This was about how Gabbie was hurt. And now we're driving all over the fucking freeway and I have no idea why I'm blindfolded and sitting in the back seat. Who the fuck is driving my car? Where are we going?
And that is disgusting.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the address you're getting.
Perfect time for an ad. We stand getting paid to accuse people of exploitation. That's just top tier chef's kiss kind of shit right there. Anyway, so we learned it's about you, Gabbie Hanna. Got it. Also, reporting on a topic and reporting on a mistake that you did in fact make, and I am calling it a mistake because I believe that it was a mistake. Not exploitative. No, it's, and definitely not through this person, because that person has never been the subject of one of these videos. Gabbie Hanna has, because Gabbie Hanna made a mistake and it needed correcting at the time. And that's it. Let me see if I can break it down in a little more of a finite way. I would say that like 98.9% of the internet understood that putting that photo in was a mistake. However, the response to being told, hey Gabbie, there are tragic circumstances surrounding the person in that photo, you might want to take that down, was radio fucking silence. Which on everyone else's end looks like, hey, I'm avoiding this. I'm out of the office right now. Few channels used her name or her photo in their thumbnail and title. Anna Oops thumbnail was admittedly gross, absolutely unnecessary,
and reduced her to a murder victim who Gabbie Hanna exploited by showing her picture, having no knowledge of the situation that happened, and you gaslighting me into saying that I did know because I couldn't have possibly missed it.
Okay, to be completely fair, that's still not what gaslighting is. Now, to be second fair, I've made some careless edits in my time. But if I'm being honest, at the time, I found it really, really difficult to believe that someone would film a video, see this article, screenshot or screen record, I don't remember if she scrolled through it or not. Either way, saved this, came back to it, put it in their video, watched it back, presumably at least twice, and then uploaded it, and completely missed that?
Fine! I didn't read the fucking article. I was looking at pictures, and you knew that, Angelica Oles.
Smear campaign.
And everybody else who started that rumor and went with that story and exploited a murdered teenager to the point that her dead body, the photos of her dead body that were taken by her murderer and posted on the internet were being sent to her fucking mother and sister.
Yeah, that had absolutely nothing to do with drama channels. That had more to do with websites that rhyme with things like schmorschman.
You exploited her daughter, and you have not apologized. And I have,
Look, Gabby Hanna, you put the photo in the video.
Just because it wasn't done maliciously doesn't mean you didn't do it at all. You did it. It was done. Reporting on your error is not exploitative. It's simply not. And again, I said this in my last video, becoming incensed that you had to apologize for something because you feel now in hindsight, or maybe you felt then that that wasn't something you need to apologize for. Well, I don't know what that is, but it's not a good look. And it definitely expresses the fact that you have absolutely no idea what apologies are for. And that Gabby Hanna has no idea that when you apologize, it's because you're sorry, not because you want to clear your name or look better or to make things go away. Personally, I find it more offensive that she's taking back an apology that was supposed to be for the family, friends, and viewers. How is that in any way productive? And how is that in any way proving your point?
I did the right thing. I went in silently and tried to hide it.
Hear me out. The photo was there. People are not going to continue to go back to your video to see if you've gone into YouTube editor and edited out a photo. They're not going to keep going back. They've seen it. They know that it's there. So by blurring the photo and saying nothing, how is anyone to know that you've mitigated the situation in any way at all? You don't need to make a big, long, angry, screaming video about how you fucked up. You didn't even need to make that long of an apology. You certainly didn't need to get in contact with this person's family. You hop on, you say, oops.
Say, how do you know so much about oops, I crap my pants?
I fucked up. I'm really sorry. Perhaps mention where you can donate some money dollars and move forward. Again, it's not always Gabby's actions. It's most often her reactions.
Because this should have never been news.
Stop screaming at people. Jesus Christ.
Did you donate any of the money you made on those videos to the foundation that I have put out publicly, that I've called you to donate to? That's fine. Nobody can take your money from you. You earn that money. You do whatever you want.
So now drama channels are expected to donate money, which is fine, but they're expected to because they called her on a mistake. Again, I am calling it a mistake because that's what it was. But again, mistakes often require responsibility. I can't cut off someone's foot and go,
Oh my God, look what the knife did.
I have to take responsibility for cutting off that person's foot.
But you need to apologize to Bianca's mother. And I know that I will never get an apology from you for what you did to me.
You're damn right you won't. Nobody owes you an apology. Nobody. And I don't care how many videos she gets this poor grieving mother to sign off on her making, where she just screams and re-emphasizes all of the most triggering words regarding a situation like this. I don't care how many of those videos that she has this poor woman sign off on. You are not owed an apology. And that's the funny thing, is because Gabby wanted everyone to believe that all of these drama channels, some of whom didn't even make videos about the situation, owed this family an apology. And some of them have given that apology. And the thing is that the family doesn't want the apology. They signed off on the videos because Gabby wanted an apology. And sorry, Angel Face, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Hold yourself accountable to the same standards that you hold everybody else.
Accountable for what? Pointing out your error? Jesus Christ, the self-righteousness is just never fucking ending.
What they did was evil, and they profited off of it, and then they're posting about their Tesla.
Smear campaign.
Angelica Oles, you started this thing. You absolutely, above all, need to take accountability for that. Apologize to the family. They're deeply hurt and were deeply affected and were faced with the images of their daughter's dead body because of you and the campaign that you spearheaded.
I then took matters into my own hands and made an impulse decision to message Bianca Devins's mum. I messaged her saying, hi, I'm Angelica Oles, I run this and this channel. And I said I was one of the people that reported on the story. I explained the context like I did to you guys just now. People sent the story to me. I reported on it like I would, you know, any other story. And she said, essentially, the paragraph she sent me was, I have no idea who you are. I don't know why you're apologizing to me. I don't feel like you exploited me. I don't know. I've never seen your content.
Smear campaign.
Or you can also admit that you actually don't hold yourself to the same standards that you hold everybody else to, and that you don't actually care about Bianca, and you don't care about Bianca's family.
Hey, you know what I bet doesn't help the Devins family? You screaming into a camera. You know, you yet again making yourself the victim of someone else's trauma. Who's dragging this out? It's gotta be the drama channels. Yeah, it's gotta be those fucking drama channels, you know? It's Angelica. I mean, by herself. She's running the whole thing.
You need to issue an apology. You need to issue a retraction. You need to share this petition with your audience and let them know that what you did is not okay, but that they can help ensure that it will never happen again.
It's so funny how Gabbie Hanna always knows what everyone else needs to do and can't figure out her own life enough to know, like, how to crack that pesky why everybody hates me code.
Because you started a campaign that hurt her tremendously, and then you never apologized, you never donated the money, you never helped share the petition that could actually help her family and future families who have to go through something this horrible.
They reported on the fact that you made a mistake, ma'am. The only people bringing this to the internet, to the forefront, to the conversation are you and your little cult. Literally going on a tirade about how gross it is that these people brought this girl up once because they wanted Gabbie to correct a mistake out of respect for this child. And when corrected, everyone commended her on how good her apology was, which she complains never happens. Literally can't win with Gabbie. You just can't. No matter what you tell her, you're fucking gaslighting her.
Everything's like a digital tombstone, right? I feel like living with the idea of allowing all of these like horrible fucking lies by horrible fucking people.
They reported on the fact that you made a mistake and weren't correcting it.
The level of selfishness and egocentricity, how did they manipulate so many people into seeing so many situations that weren't real? It's like rain. I'm not allowed to be angry about that.
You can be whatever the fuck you want to be. No one's denying you the right to be angry. But what you need to do is look at the reality of the situation. You should also probably start addressing things when they come up, because this flying off the handle shit is absolutely fucking toxic.
Angelica fucking Knowles, you know what?
Smear campaign. Even
they were like, proud of her for doing this. Where's your apology, Spill Sesh? Ashley Kyle?
See, this is the shit I'm talking about. You want to be liked so much, but also like you don't care. You want to be heard, but also like you don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. When you're commended for doing the right thing and doing a good job, and someone empathizes with you or reaches out to you, you mock them. She did the same fucking thing with Oscar Wilde. It was the same thing. He extended a listening ear and a modicum of empathy, and she mocked him and called him performative. This is why people don't like Gabbie Hanna. Well, this and a lot of other reasons we're gonna get to in the next couple episodes. But she doesn't let people like her.
Ruin my birthday, ruin my Valentine's Day, ruin Peyton's birthday. Like, you guys literally took away an amazing month for me.
Oh my god, a little self-reflection goes a long way, Gabbie. Honestly, I think she's gaslighting herself at this point.
Then you picked a fight about the tags because I tagged you, you narcissistic bitch.
Smear campaign. Yeah, okay, the tags might have been a petty nitpick, but I did fall in favor at the time of being annoyed by the tags thing, because an apology should be for the person you hurt, not the people you want to make sure see it so they can start singing your praises, although you can end up eventually mocking them for feeling remotely empathetic for a moment.
Put out this apology for something I shouldn't have fucking apologized for. You should have, and we're still waiting. So is Kim Devins, so is Olivia Devins.
Yep, it's definitely everyone else using that family for clout and money. Everyone else, definitely. I'm sure they're very glad that this happened too, because having quiet and being able to grieve in peace is not nearly as fun as having your trauma ripped open on the internet publicly again. So you can scream about how you need an apology and you've been wronged and you had a shitty Valentine's Day because of drama channels. Can you just leave people and their trauma alone? Is that like, that's kind of like your specialty now? Right.
I'm glad I'm finally saying this shit because it's a lot of internalized anger.
A lot of internalized anger because you're a very angry person who very clearly could use multiple weekly therapy sessions. It's just my opinion.
Because anybody can look at that and see exactly what it is, which is a bunch of tabloids creating false stories for fucking money at the expense of a woman.
First of all, Gabbie says she doesn't watch these videos. She either has other people watch them for her or she just kind of gathers what she can from the title and the thumbnail, which means that we're playing fucking telephone with a kazoo, a fucking stopwatch, and a half-eaten bag of Twizzlers. Secondly, most drama channels just report the facts, perhaps with their opinion attached to it. I don't understand how that's supposed to be changing any sort of narrative when you're just reporting on the thing that happened. Even if you're speculating, it's not changing anything.
That's why I fucking trend on Twitter for being an ableist against neurodivergent people, even though I'm neurodivergent.
You trend because you act badly and handle criticism poorly. And because all of your past behaviors are now coming to the surface. Drama channels reporting on your bad behavior does not make drama channels the source of your problems. You are the source of your problems. Trying to feign some moral high ground around the tragic death of a teenager because you got called out for making a mistake and blaming the drama channels for it is exactly why the internet is never going to work in your favor. That and all the other stuff we're going to talk about in the coming episodes. God, if you have no idea what's going on with Gabbie Hanna, you're going to be super intrigued by all the references to future episodes.
I tweeted something like, what 2007 did to Britney Spears is what we call cancel culture today. It's attacking somebody relentlessly with tabloids and lies, mostly towards women, and ruining their fucking life, and they can't do anything about it. And I wasn't even fucking referencing myself. I was talking about all the other shit that was going on with women in the media right now. I didn't even say anything about myself. Like, that's your own fucking projection.
Yeah, it's definitely projection, not a history of vague tweets and subtweets.
I don't want people to be okay with the message that you can slander somebody and mentally abuse them. Like, that is what this is.
That's not what this is at all, even a little.
This is narcissistic abuse. This is gaslighting. This is manipulation.
Shut the fuck up! Oh my god, I can't with this anymore. Anyway, it ends with one of her traumatized cats coming up on the bed and her like holding the cat because the poor fucking thing probably needs therapy too.
Hey.
In episode 3, Gabbie Hanna addressed her past content that was problematic. It was 15 minutes. All the rest of the videos are at least 30 to 40 minutes. I don't want to really make much commentary on it because the apology, or the explanation rather, is not for me. It's not my place to accept it or say whether or not it was sufficient, but I do feel like this is another one of those moments where Gabbie gives us the issue, what she did wrong.
It's embarrassing and it's uncomfortable.
I love running through black neighborhoods with my shirt off. I'm gonna steal all of your baby daddies.
And then tries to teach everybody about it.
People don't realize how recently Jim Crow was. So much this is just about literally equal rights and how is this becoming a part of the election? I don't understand when racism became like a political debate.
So basically it was 15 minutes of Gabbie Hanna realizing that racism is still very prevalent, happens all the time, and that Jim Crow was not that long ago. Shut the fuck up! Episodes 4 and 5 are about Trisha Paytas, and they're the same fucking thing we've been talking about this entire time. And I'm afraid I don't care enough to analyze them. So, I'll leave you with this. Gabbie Hanna's obsessed with Trisha Paytas. And that's all there is to it. I think that's all the energy I can muster for this one. The next ones are gonna be heavy as fuck, and I need to figure out how to lighten them up a little bit. It's gonna be a minute. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please feel free to give it a like. If you didn't like this video, you are something else, okay? You're something else, and not in a good way. I don't know, whatever. Subscribe, I make new videos whenever I feel like it. We do a live event here every Friday where we just kind of talk shit. It's a good time. All of my social media and the links I mentioned at the beginning of the video are linked down below. I hope you have a day, and I hope that it is a day. And I will see you in the next one.
I don't fucking care about anything anymore. ADHD, I'm neurodivergent. I'm actually very neurodivergent. ADHD.
And get this, oops, I crap my pants are biodegradable.